Hey guys, Dr. Devynne here, head coach and owner at Middle Path CrossFit and one of the doctors of acupuncture and Chinese medicine at Jing Shen Healing Arts. I wanted to hop on here and just record more information for our community, anybody who is connected to us, watching this, and is curious about what is happening at Middle Path. We do a lot of recording behind the scenes for our members, as well as our coaching team that keeps us connected to what is happening within the space, what's been happening, where we're headed, and all of that. Recently, I've been tossing in my brain back and forth on what could provide some value to the collective community that may be watching from the outside and is curious about what the heck are we doing at Middle Path? Some of you may know us because you're connected to our Chinese medicine clinic. And I'm not 100% sure where these videos are going to go, but I want to give a similar recap that we're giving our community of what's been happening in the gym, where we're headed, and what's coming up. And of course, if you have any questions and you're local, you're curious about coming to check out a class, reach out. You can drop a comment below. You can find us on social media, send us a DM. I run our social media accounts. So it's an easy way to get a hold of me. And then, of course, our website, middlepathcrossfit.com, has a lot of extra information about what we're doing in our gym and just some resources and all that good stuff. Part of my intention within these videos is just to give you guys a little insight into what is happening in our gym space, a little bit more of a connect to what is happening through the coach's lens, right? As one of the owners and the head coach at the gym, there's a lot of intention behind what we're trying to offer. We're not just running group fitness classes. And if there's any intrigue and kind of a deeper direction of the philosophical side of what we're doing, I would encourage you to check out our podcast, Refining the 33. It won't be all CrossFit related, but we do get into some life conversations and such. Ultimately, we record a lot of videos for our community to celebrate them, the hard work that they're putting in, and give them some updates on what's coming forward. And so I want to create a similar version of that video for the community. What will be missing is all the nuts and bolts of what we're doing day to day and probably a deeper lens of why. But I wanted to just create a little more openness around what's happening and how we're approaching it and what's happening within our space. If you're watching this and you have even questions of, hey, I watched this and you said you've been doing this, how would you approach that with someone that has XYZ going on? Drop those comments below because I'd be happy to get on here and record some more information for you, and or it may fuel a conversation for an upcoming podcast episode. But really, I think CrossFit sometimes gets this public image of it just being chaos. It's chaotic, it's heavy. You're just doing a bunch of weird movements. I want to share a little bit more of the intentionality behind what we're doing and how we are guiding our members and all of that. We make the choice within our gym to follow a program. And so that programming is HWPO affiliate. So we are connected to a coach elsewhere who basically writes programming. We get it a couple weeks at a time. We get to integrate that into our community and then just keep going and going. And so we have a lot of tools on the back end as coaches that tell us why we're doing what we're doing. And then it's our job to relay that to our members. But within that, we end up in these periods that we call training cycles. And so essentially a training cycle is just a focus point or two that we are diving into for a select period of time. Some training cycles are longer, where we are focused on one objective for 10, 12, maybe even 15 weeks. And the year that we are in within our macro level cycle is shorter training cycles. And so we're seeing things turn over every 5 to 6 weeks, where we're shifting our focus points. For example, the cycle we just finished was squat strength. And so for the last 6 weeks, we have been focused on squats, both through strength, volume, getting stronger, getting more mobile, trying to get more explosive in some of our different muscle groups. And so that looks different depending on the day and what we're doing and all of that. But we basically spent the last 6 weeks working on our squat. At the very beginning, we did what we would call a 1 rep max back squat. It's basically just assessing where are we with our squats. And we are definitely big on prioritizing range of motion and no achiness, crankiness in the body when we're doing this. And so for some of our members, the 1 rep max baseline was a simple air squat. It was, can I get full range of motion? We're not really trying to add any weight or load yet. And for those that have been squatting longer, we incorporated a barbell and how heavy can we get on that barbell while maintaining proper form and technique through our squat. We established that baseline for all of our members and get to say, hey, this is where we are. This is where we're starting. Here's a snapshot picture of where we are at in time. And then for the next 6 weeks, we get to work. And getting to work looked like extra mobility for the hips, knees, ankles, all of that. We usually work into warm-ups. And it looked like more back squats where we could just get to dial in technique and form and some percentage work, which builds off of the number we set at the beginning. And we get to hyper focus on making our squats as good as possible over the next 6 weeks. And so some of the side work that went into that was lunges, some single leg strength. If we can make some of those weaker links stronger, then it makes the overall movement stronger. We don't squat every day. Over 6 weeks, what we saw was 2 squat days a week. Some weeks we had a third, but it was different. It was some variability in the movement and just testing that in different ways and just building some capacity, building the ability to squat over and over again, which gets us looser and all of those things. For somebody who's in here who's not really concerned about lifting heavy per se, the assessment of that is, do you feel comfortable adding a little bit of weight to the bar? How are the joints holding up? Do you have any sort of issues that are arising while you squat? Squatting is one of those movements that we need in life, and we don't always think about it. We get in and out of chairs all day long. We get on and off the toilet. Those are squats, and that is why we are squatting, is so that our body has that movement pattern and the ability to do that smoothly without pain, without tension, and without needing any sort of extra assistance, right? We're not having to prop ourselves on the armchair to get up out of the chair at home. We can get down without having to fall in it and fall back into it. So a lot of that work goes beyond just how heavy is our back squat. And if we have really good range of motion and our body feels good, it's very empowering to see what can we do with that? How heavy can we get? And on the other side of that is how well is our body recovering from load? If we can move weight and we feel stronger, then a simple getting on and off the couch does not really affect our day-to-day life, right? It makes it smoother and easier. We feel better going up and down stairs, all of those things. So we're strengthening the knees, we're strengthening the hips, the low back, the core, a little bit of everything that just helps. So that was our focus, and it is weightlifting focus. We do want people to get stronger. And so we did that. We got to the end of those 6 weeks. And what we do at the end is retest our 1 rep max back squat again. And so what's really cool about that is it's a sneaky way to show you that you are getting better and stronger. And we had our members all added more weight to their back squat. The members who in the beginning of the cycle were just focused on a good air squat, no barbell, no load, were able to squat with a barbell and a little bit of load by the end of that 6 weeks. So that was super fun to see them push themselves in that way and just feel confident in the effort and getting it done. So that's what we've been working on within our space. And now this past week, we did what we call a workshop week. And so we're unloading our bodies from heavy lifting, intensity, and just letting things recover. So we spent a week with some extra mobility and stretching and just accessory work and just getting people moving this next cycle we have coming up is going to be all about shoulders and pressing. I'm going to end up recording a second video on what's coming ahead with our shoulder pressing, but just a little bit of a, hey, this is what we're doing in the gym. This is what is happening within our space. And if you watch this and are just curious how that all unfolds or some specifics of what we do, we'd love to hear from you and encourage you to come check out a class. But it's when you hop on social media, right, and you see all of these things happening. If you follow us on Instagram or Facebook, depending on how you found your way here, what in the photos and the videos are heavy weights and big lifts and all of those things. But what gets left out sometimes is the context of what we're trying to do beyond the cliche of getting stronger. Like why are we doing what we're doing? Why do you see someone squatting with a box under them versus somebody that's got an insane amount of weight on a bar? You might be like, why do I need to do that? Or I don't feel like I need to do that. And yeah, these videos are just intended to create more transparency for the community around what's happening within our space and what we've been working on, where we're going, why we're doing what we're doing. And yeah, would love to hear from you. And of course, would love to have you come in for a class. We do 3 free classes at our affiliate. And so if you're curious and just want to come check it out, reach out and we'd love to have you. Yeah. Enjoy. Have a good weekend. It's Saturday, right? Have a good weekend. Enjoy the sunshine and we'll chat soon.